Hello everyone. The reason why I'm doing this video because I spent a lot of time in my car listening to TED, and I decided to make a TED collection. So basically, I believe around 50 hours of all kind of important information that I decided for myself to assist businesses around the world and to just show what I consider as important in day-to-day chores, life, business, and hopefully it will also provide you information. Um, and what I would like to start, it will be like small segments from each and different presenter in TED. And one of the things that I would like to mention is, uh, for example, uh, you want to buy right now a car and you would like to buy a red car. Suddenly, you're gonna see all kind of bursts of red cars everywhere that you go. So basically, you never seen them before, and suddenly everything is red, all the cars. So you only see red ones. The same one when you're speaking about pregnancy, for example. For example, you right now, your spouse is pregnant. Suddenly, everybody is pregnant. Suddenly, you see only pregnant things in your life. The reason why it's mentioned because it's the same when you're gonna put your mind in a goal. Your goal right now to become, for example, a manager. Suddenly, you're gonna see only managing positions. Or you as a business owner decided that you would like to make right now uh, a special lunch, for example, or a special product. Suddenly, all the things that you need to work around this product will appear before you. I have a sheet note here that I'm wrote down all the short stuff. One of the things that I really like, and probably the day-to-day person heard this phrase, but for me it was a new one: squeaky wheel gets the grease. So basically, if it squeaks, you need to put grease on it so it will stop squeaking. So the same here, the analogy here in life. So basically, you need to ask for things. Once you're gonna ask for things, people will comply and you will get it. So it's very important analogies that I really like. Another point that I would like to mention is I knew it in from our side. It's a statistics in Israel about the IRS that 9 out of 10 businesses are falling. So apparently it's worldwide statistics that 9 of our 10 things that you went out to achieve gonna fall, and you need to be understand and ready that only 10% will work. Once you have it in this mind that you have 10% that's gonna work, go for it because you know the losing part you're gonna learn from it first of all, and of course you know that there is a 10% of the success. Another one that I really like hearing because it's less in my area of expertise, it's how you can find people who are lying. So there was a TED talk about a serial killer. There's a woman that understands serial killers, and she has developed a system, or what thought a system. It's called ESL: eyes, shoulder, and lips. Basically, eyes, when you line, your eyes usually don't look straight forward, they're looking down, they're closed. And there is a shoulder flinch like that, okay, that basically you can see that the person doesn't tell the truth. And lip pressed, okay, when the lips are pressed. So this is, you can hear it in the conversation if you're over the phone. You can see it in front of the person, suddenly the conversation goes like that, okay. You understand that the information that's coming to you is not something that is relevant. Another TED talk was about there are 3 types of persons in the world. Everybody has different boxes in the world for this kind of personality. Our personality that I really like is by colors. Here is the personality that I heard is by feel, listen, and image. So she started in a conversation. Close your eyes right now and imagine a scene in the past that happened to you. How do you reflect on it? How do you hear it? What happened in surroundings? Do you feel it? Can you feel the pain or the smile or the burst of energy? Or do you see it in a small motion or as an image? So people who feel, they have 5%. People who listen, they're 20%. And of course, the image part, me considered also 75% of the people see it as an image, these members. Why it's important in our day-to-day workflow? When you talk to a person and you hears it is that he is always listening. Okay, he uses the word to listen in his conversation. You need to understand that if you're gonna prescribe a picture to him, you wouldn't be on the same lanes. Or somebody that likes to hug or feel. Okay, you will understand that you need to also you understand who is the person in front of you, and it will be much easier for you to comply and see what's going on. I really like something that I was trying for 10 years to find and explain. I'm telling the salespersons around the world, don't say the word why or but. And usually I said because from what I was taught, because it's from childhood, and why, because, but it's a negative word and so on. But there is another thing that I heard right now in TED presentation that I really like. People have developed an immunity to words. So basically, if you hear this word day to day, it flows by. You don't hear it. So try to use more imaginative words, or more. I've noticed if I have a mistake in a word, in a spelling mistake, people react, and I know it's a mistake. It's not doesn't show you it doesn't look shining on you a great light. Nevertheless, people do notice, and conversation starts, or something triggers. Okay, although it's a negative thing. Or for example, in Hebrew there's something called belt, but there's another higher word that it sounds like an, sorry for pronouncing it, but it sounds like an S. So it depends what kind of words you hear it, and then it's much easier to grab attention of someone. Another thing that's how to approach people. It's more in a sales, or more if you want to B2B, business to business, or business to client. It's very important how people usually start. Is actually, from my side, it's annoying, because I really don't like when people just ask random questions just to ask. For example, how are you doing today? I'm okay. Or where are you from? I'm from Orlando. So, I mean, it's not something that you need to ask more questions to start knowing new person, to enjoy from the new person information. So one of the things that I took from one of the TED Talks is the opinion. Okay, from my side, I was teaching sales personnels not opinion. I was told them learn from the other side. So it's almost the same. So tell me about what do you think is your opinion about the real estate market? What do you think? Should I buy an apartment right now, or should I wait? Because listen, the prices are now unbelievable. And then a real conversation starts. There's a lot of things about the new age that I'm gonna probably say another several times, that people we're in a new age. We're only texting, we're only talking, and TED Talks trying to show that people are not 104 characters. It's a book. So try to not short questions, and try to really be intrigued in the other side. You'll be amazed. Okay. It's something from me that I want to mention also. It's not in TED Talks, but something that I really like to say. For example, you're right now driving for unknown destination. So if you're driving for same amount of destination, if you're going to an unknown place, it takes you forever. You think when it will come, how long should I drive, and so on. When you're going back to in the same road, it goes by very quick. Or so basically, this is for example when you're trading. It's the best example. Okay, if you're watching a movie right now, you watch a movie, 1 hour and a half goes by, 90 minutes goes by in a second. But if you're training for 90 minutes, it takes forever. So basically you can control time. The more you're happy in this environment, the more time flies by, and the more you enjoy. I've been on a vacation like half a year ago, and it was 2 weeks, and I heard a TED Talk that right now explains what happened to me. I spoke with my wife, for example. I told her, listen, only when we went after a week to around the country, only then I became to relax. And the main idea is basically that, especially it's from what we heard in TED Talks, that it takes around 8 days for our minds to slow down. So we need basically longer vacations. So if you're an agent, or if you're an employee, or if you're even a director or an owner of the company, consider taking bigger vacation in order to provide for yourself a real vacation, because the first week you're just gonna be still slow down from the work, and you're gonna start only your vacation afterwards. Another thing that mentioned in TED Talks is that people think most of the time about the future. 48% of the time we think about the future. You think a little bit about the past, of course, and so on. So the best place to start thinking, okay, I don't know, from my side, it's in the shower, and it's when you're going to sleep. The mind becomes to wander, and you can start thinking and imagine stuff. Me myself, I always have a note and a pen nearby. Even if my eye closed, I make a small, like a point, or I write in a phone, for example, a short sentence, and then we're able to go to bed. And ideas, it's your ideas. Nobody heard them, so write them down. It's gonna assist you further down the line. Another thing, it's also a number that I took from a TED Talk. 6.9% of our mind during the day wanders. So basically, if you're right now operating something important, or you're doing what I'm doing right now, a presentation. During this presentation, 6.9% of my presentational time, my mind will go sideways and gonna wander. I'm not gonna be fully equipped in this presentation. So keep in mind, keep the small notice when people is not with you, try to catch them back. It's very important. It's something that we are born with. Another thing that people are going to use, of course, and people know it because the news built on it, the negative effect is much intense than the positive effect. And this goes great for as analogy in our environment work. In an environment, one bad representation can ruin the whole day. So we need to double the effort to provide positive feedbacks for our employees, for our friends, for our co-workers, for our family. And if you manage to have higher positive effect than the negative, the days you're gonna like coming to work, you're gonna enjoy the day-to-day routine, and so on. And what is matters in the workshop, in a workplace, is have a close relationship with each other. If you have positive and close relationships, you're gonna enjoy it. Another thing I want to go back, as I mentioned before, about the book and the text. It was measured that we're texting around 100 messages per day. Instead of just speak more daily than text. And the conversation part is very important, and people start to disavow for this kind of information. We need to start talking and not texting. About the emotional questions, it's also very important. People usually, when they ask, aren't you afraid? Of course I'm afraid. So basically, in the question you already had the answer. So try, when you have a discussion with someone, not to have emotional question, more open question. So what do you feel? And then you'll have a real answer, and not aren't you afraid or aren't you happy? Now it goes for me, because I'm talking already for a while. I know this phrase I heard before, you probably also, from the TED Talks, that says, Buddha said, if a mouth is open, you are not learning. So, and it was one of the co-stars of talk show or something like that. Her job is not to speak, but for the other side to speak as much as he can, and then she learns. Apparently there's a number of numbers that you probably would like to know and share in the world. We can talk 225 words a minute, and apparently our mind can listen to 550 words a minute. So we have a lot of free time to absorb more information. to fill the gaps. So once somebody's speaking like you listen to me, you probably can, your mind can wander and receive more information. So something that you can take under consideration when you speak with the other side. And she also said an amazing phrase: keep the mouth shut and always prepare to be amazed. So people really, after this tagged points that I took to myself before I did this video, I tried to place it in real life, and the reality, it really works. One of the things that I don't believe people know, and I took it also under consideration and decided to learn from it and to use it, called 5-second rule. So the best example that was provided on TED, that when you're having in the morning your alarm clock starts, you put it on snooze and you say, let's say another 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And it's very hard for yourself for hours to get out of bed. And the analogy, of course, in business, very hard to start something, to finish something, to make something. And the 5-second rule says like that: if in the first 5 seconds you won't do it, you won't get out of the bed, it won't matter. In 10 minutes you will still have the same problem getting out of the bed. So when you have this alarm clock, for example, start counting up to 5 and really make the decision to move, to stand up. And you have no idea that it's really works. If you understand that if you're gonna break this barrier in the first 5 seconds, after it, it's the same. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you drink your coffee, and everything is amazing. But the first 5 seconds to wake up is the most difficult one. If you understand it, once you open your eyes and you say 1, 2, and you don't count, you don't reach the 5 seconds, you'll be amazed what you can achieve. I knew it before, and they just TED Talks just place it back. Apparently, mind are the same like our muscles. It can stretch. So basically, the more you work on your mind, the mind stretches and it doesn't go back. Okay, so you just know that the more you learn, the more the mind stretches. For people who are more for motivation in TED Talks, one of the things that I encourage from my side, and apparently that's what the TED Talks talk about, invest money. Okay, it means not invest money in order to profit, but invest money in your idea. If you decided to go for it, don't just talk about it, place the money inside your idea and start working. Money is a great motivator. It's a great tool for you to just, you cannot go back. Once you place $10,000 in your project, that's it. It's like that's how casino makes their money. You're pot committed, but here in a positive way. You need to finish your job, so all the way to the end. And this is great, by the way, example. They provide a great example for people who want to lose weight. If you decide to go for it, okay, so it just shifts your identity. The 30-day diet, the 50-day diet, it doesn't work. If you committed, go committed 100%. And one of the important things that was described, don't go for 98% commitment. So basically, well, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna do it, and let's see if it's gonna work. No, you just don't do it because it's not relevant, it won't work. You need to be fully 100% committed to what you're doing. One of the things that it's hard for people in their beginnings or in their middle to do is to think successfully. And one of the things that was provided as an example in TED Talks is, let's say in 5 years time you're very successful, very powerful, you're a great human being. How would you react? How would you feel? What you're gonna do? Basically, you will be the same person, maybe with more courage in your heart and maybe more convincing yourself, but you're still the same person. So the main idea is, don't wait this 5 years gap until you become successful and then you're gonna enjoy to be successful and you're gonna have your back straightened out and you're gonna say, okay, now I can do it. Don't wait 5 years. Be this person right now. Nothing gonna happen in 5 years. Maybe you're gonna be richer or more successful, but as a person, be it right now. Believe in yourself, and this is the main goal. And another one lesson for our conversation for today Uh, Scientists says that we have around between 50,000 and 70,000 thoughts per day. And apparently 90% of them is thoughts that we thought already the day before. And it's very hard to be in this cycle when you're thinking all over again the same thoughts. So try to fight it and try to think about the future, not the future, try to think different thoughts. So, okay, I already thought about it, enough for today. Let's try to do something different. Let's try to think about something new and different. So this was a short collection. It was 50 hours of listening while I was driving, but this is what I took from TED Talks, and hopefully it can assist the people out there that listen to TED, and hopefully it will inspire people to do the positive things. My name is Levin, and hope you enjoy this small lecture.